Hey everyone, and welcome to another Game Explained discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Steve Bowling to discuss the reveal of a wonderful new Pokemon, Sirfetch'd. Now, it's been leaked for a while now. People have been aware of the idea of a Sirfetch'd, and of course we had that whole thing last week where they had a sort of glitch happen for the Pokemon website that kind of gave an idea of what was coming, and everybody correctly assumed, yeah, it's probably going to be the reveal of Sirfetch'd. But now we have him, he's out there, and my god, he is wonderful. But what do you think of him, Steve?
I love him. I mean, it's just such a cool concept. I mean, yeah, there wasn't a surprise factor. We all expected it. We all knew it was coming. It had been leaked previous. Oh man, I stepped into that one. But yeah. It had been hinted at previously or revealed unofficially previously. So we all expected it. But seeing him in the game is so much better than I could have expected. He's just such a cool Pokemon. Like, I'm thrilled to have him. It probably leaned me even further towards Sword than I already was.
Mm-hmm. I've seen so many reactions on Twitter of people going with Sword because that's all it took. You know, that's seeing this Pokemon having this evolution for a Pokemon that has not had anything done with it for a long time is definitely gratifying. And I became a Farfetch'd fan thanks to a X and Y playthrough where I tried it out as a Nuzlocke, and I got Farfetch'd as one of my Pokemon and realized, oh crap, he has Aerial Ace really early. Oh man, he's great. I love this guy, and I just had this attachment to him ever since. And I became one of those that, yes, let's give Farfetch'd some love, give him an evolution, do something with him, because this is a fun design and they just haven't done anything with it since. And this is a great direction to go. This whole almost a lance, kind of sword, but also kind of a lance with the leek, and then a shield with using the leek leaves. It's just a great concept. Plus those eyebrows.
Yeah, he's got these huge, thick eyebrows. He looks so serious, and I love the fact that in the trailer they show someone trying to play with him, and he just is having none of it and swings his sword at him.
Well, I actually looked at that a little closer because I noticed, all people talking about that, how he did look like, don't you dare do that to me. But he actually has those little happy musical notes coming out of him when he does that. So I think it's not actually him being mad at you for bothering him with that. I think it's more he thinks you're challenging him to a duel.
Hey, that's a really interesting notion. Yeah, I did not notice those. So yeah, I guess if he's in a good mood, maybe he's up for some sparring or something.
Mm-hmm. They did say he's all about fighting, which, speaking of, he gets a completely new type. He goes from normal and flying to a fighting type, a pure fighting type, which couldn't say I saw that one coming. Yeah,
that's a bit bizarre. I would have expected him to at least keep flying. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's still very much a bird-type Pokemon when you look at him. You know, he doesn't go through some crazy physical change, so that is interesting that they just made him pure fighting.
I mean, I guess I kind of get the concept because, he has something in both arms, so he's definitely not flying anywhere, so I think that makes sense. Although I wonder, with him evolving from Farfetch'd, you of course be able to keep some of those flying moves, which would make him a really great viable choice against other fighting Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. He would be a very versatile choice as long as you don't remove those existing flying moves from him. So he could be very viable competitively even.
Mm-hmm. I expect him to have pretty good stats. He has a unique new fighting move that seems exclusive to him that looks great. You actually see the full thing in the Japanese trailer where he does the attack, and then they have that traditional Japanese red and black window thing that flow of flowers, and then it just cuts and explodes. It's that's so cool.
That is amazing. I haven't seen that yet. Now I'm going to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it's really great. I think they knew people wanted this, and they are treating it so well. I am so happy that it has this, and he's going to be on my team. There's no way he's not going to be on my team.
Oh, absolutely. And it's great to see, these older Pokemon getting renewed attention and support. I love the fact that they did this. When they started giving, Alolan Pokemon versions, I was hoping that they'd continue that trend of giving older Pokemon some new forms for us to enjoy. And seeing this one is just, further evidence that they're listening. Mm. So I'm really happy that this specifically, and that they're going so all in on it, giving him crazy looking special moves and just rethinking the character or rethinking the Pokemon from a, step one to give them something like this evolution. I'm thrilled, and I'm absolutely going to have Sirfetch'd in my party.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious about its evolution because the whole idea behind it, according to the website, is it's not experience-based. It's not any kind of special stone. It's battle experience. That's how many battles he's taken place in. So now it makes me wonder, like, okay, how many battles do we need to use Farfetch'd in order for it to evolve into Sirfetch'd? And that's an interesting concept. Like, it's kind of new, kind of unique, and like getting that kind of experience for it makes it evolve. It's definitely a different way of evolving a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's interesting too because it's vague. It could mean just number of battles it participates in, number of Pokemon it defeats. I'm not sure unless they're more specific than that. But I am curious as to how this, evolution mechanic will work for him. But it also is kind of neat that it encourages you to use a Pokemon that maybe not a ton of people are using. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, it took you a while to realize how cool Farfetch'd was. So there might be a whole subset of fans out there that don't use them and now are going to get Sirfetch'd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very curious to see which one it is, whether it's enemies defeated or just how many battles you've taken place in yourself. Who knows?
Right, or even if Farfetch'd needs to be out on the field or not. If they can just be in the back of your party hanging out when you do other battles. So I'm curious as to what, and I guarantee Nintendo and Game Freak won't tell us that specifically, but some intrepid fan will go into the game and figure out exactly how that evolution occurs.
Oh yeah, Joe Merrick will know that by day one.
Yeah, he probably knows it now.
Yeah, that's just how good he is. So
yeah,
yeah, it's cool to see, and it actually brings up another interesting point with Sirfetch'd, and I brought this up on my Twitter, but for those who don't follow me, the thing I noticed is that Sirfetch'd is exclusive to Pokemon Sword, and that's also the game that Bay, I'm not sure which way is the proper pronunciation of her name yet, is the exclusive gym leader for Pokemon Sword, and she's a fighting type gym leader. So the other one for Shield is a ghost type gym leader. So it makes me wonder, could another Pokemon that's not seen a lot of love or, kind of been forgotten or something that fans really want to see more of, get a ghost type evolution for Shield to sort of balance it out? Because it is a little weird to have one type of Pokemon for one side and not have it for the other. There's usually a balance there.
Yeah, I fully expect that we'll receive some type of announcement of a Shield exclusive Pokemon evolution, and I do agree with you. The evidence kind of points to where it could be a ghost type, but I can't even imagine which, if they're taking a similar route, kind of taking an older Pokemon and giving it a new evolution. I wonder who would be a good candidate for a ghost type evolution.
I raised the idea, and it was not exactly a smart idea when I was like, oh, Ghost and the Ghost, of course. And then I realized, oh, right, Farfetch'd went from two different types into a completely different type. So that means nothing. So it just could be Ghost out of nowhere. And other people brought up the idea of Dunsparce. Dunsparce is just this weird, weak little Pokemon that I've never used before in my life, but I know a lot of people love it and have this affinity for it and want to see it do something. And so it getting a ghost type and maybe another type on top of that to make it more than just a normal type, I think would excite fans and have it be of Shield. I've also seen people mention Shuckle, which would also fit sort of the Shield theme. There's a couple evolutions beyond Gen 1, or a couple Pokemon beyond Gen 1 that have not received evolutions that could be viable candidates for this type of ghost evolution.
Yeah, that would be really cool, and I'm all for Dunsparce getting some more love. I have seen a lot of love for it online, so I don't have one that I'm rooting for. I'm still, my boy Snorlax will always be my favorite Pokemon of all time, because he lives the life I want to live. But I would be happy to see any of these Pokemon that have kind of fallen by the wayside over the years get some renewed attention. Mm-hmm.
It would be something else to see Dunsparce all of a sudden become competitively viable.
Yeah, exactly. It's one that nobody talks about anymore, but has a lot of love from the fan base. So it would be cool for them to kind of take note of that and give it something to push it further into the limelight.
And that's the nice thing about Sword and Shield so far, is that it's not just Gen 1 Pokemon that can get these new forms. It's at least up to Gen 3, according to what we've seen so far. It might be beyond that, but probably just up to Gen 3. And there's a lot of candidates and possibilities there, and I'm looking forward to seeing. Like, I'll be honest, I know there's this, people aren't exactly happy with Sword and Shield due to the lack of every Pokemon in the game. But what's there is really good. I'm actually honestly really excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of game development is that you only have so much time and only so many resources, even if you're huge, like Game Freak and Nintendo. There are only so many talented people you can throw at a game, and only so much money you can spend. But everything that I've seen of Sword and Shield so far is wonderful. It looks like a great continuation of the franchise, and we're finally getting Pokemon on a freaking home console. That is enough to make me happy on its own. I've always said since we got, what was the name of it? The
probably Stadium,
GameCube.
The GameCube ones, yeah, Gale of Darkness.
Gale of Darkness. Ever since we got that, I've been wanting a proper Pokemon game on my TV at home. So that alone is really great, and just seeing everything they've done so far, the art style, the wild areas, it looks like a great evolution of Pokemon. And so regardless, I know I'm going to be happy just to have it on the Switch and be able to play it at home in the comfort of my living room. And everything else is just a bonus on top of that.
Plus the Pokemon designs just across the board. I've not seen a design that I've not liked from this new set.
All the new Pokemon they've revealed so far have been winners. I haven't seen one and been like, well, that's a miss. And I can't say that about other gens. I mean, even Black and White, I saw a couple Pokemon that I'm like, this doesn't really make sense. So, so far they've been really killing it with the design, and the Pokemon that they've brought back that we've seen so far all look really great too.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Any other thoughts on Sirfetch'd?
Sirfetch'd is amazing, and I'm going to be grinding out battles with Farfetch'd to get him as soon as I can.
Yep, exactly. I'm looking forward to having him on my team. So, yeah. I think that about covers it for our Sirfetch'd reveal discussion, so thank you for watching, and if you liked this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. And of course, make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Pokemon and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye.